episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Oh, broads, I am just tingling with excitement because two of our most favorite people are here. We are reunited via Zoom. Unfortunately, maybe one day it'll be in person again, but for now, it is via the internets, and it's Justine and Natasha from Two Black Girls, One Rose.
Hello, everybody. Hi, guys.
When were you guys last on?
Was it like 7?
August, September. Okay, August, September.
Wow, feels like it's been years.
I know. There's been a lot that's been happening since.
So much has happened. Exactly.
So much has happened. Almost now 2 seasons of this show that are, I want to know. Okay, let's just dive into this because
I'm like, where do we even begin? Like, are we talking about Matt? Are we talking about all the crazy extracurricular bachelor activity? Like, where do we even start?
Well,
oh boy.
Okay, maybe on maybe a more positive note, should we start on what you all thought about Tayshia's season? Because we're gonna call it Tayshia's season.
Yeah.
And Zach, thoughts on Zach. Anyway, go for it.
Yeah. Love Tayshia's season. Probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best. She was a phenomenal bachelorette, and I think the cast of men were, so many of them had never even, you can tell they never watched the show before. So they were all newbies, which is really refreshing. And then there was just really a strong emphasis on Tayshia's love story. All the drama and stuff kind of got cast to the side. And that was awesome to see because we're, especially now in Matt's season, we're knee deep in extracurricular drama, but then so much bullshit on his season with Victoria. It was nice to have a season just focused on their love. And I fucking loved Zach. Love the end story. Just love it all.
I think maybe was it the best proposal we've ever seen.
Oh, it was so good.
It was up there.
My mom missed the season and she's currently rewatching it, and she was just so I'm reliving through it with her now. And she was this last weekend I was at her house and she's like, I'm watching the final episode. I'm like, girl, let me watch this proposal with you again. And I was just even more crying harder now, knowing that they're just together still and so happy.
I know.
Yes.
I was at Natasha's house and I was crying. We were both crying, sitting on the couch.
We were both crying.
Oh my God.
Separate ends of the couch,
reaching out to one another.
I think what's so crazy to me though about Tayshia's season is I fully believe that a lot of those guys were cast for Claire's season, including Zach, because they needed older dudes. So as much of a shit show as all of Claire's stuff was, we would not have had the same season had it not been for Claire because of the guys. And so many of the guys were right reasons because they were older dudes who I think their friends and family cast for the show because Claire was the bachelorette. So I kind of love that aspect of it.
Yeah, love that. And also I think Tayshia she came ready. She was like, I'm looking for love. I need a husband. She's not playing any games. No. I think one thing that Justine said was she chose herself. It was do I go down the same route or do I choose the easy route? And easy, not bad. Zach, life with Zach looks beautiful. Choose that. And she chose that for herself. I loved it.
Okay, so in contrast, what do you think about Matt's quest for love? We'll get into more of it, but I'm just curious specifically because you said Tayshia was not playing around. She was looking for a husband. What do you think about Matt? Do you think that he's playing around?
I don't even think he knows he's playing around, but he is. And I said this on our pod when we recorded that the moment I knew he wasn't picking Michelle was when he said, it'll be comfortable. This will be great. Life, I can see it now. Life with Michelle is easy, breezy, and comfortable and great. I can see it. It's great. And I was like, oh, he's not picking her. And that is work that he has to do, inner work he has to do, maturity, all the rest of that. I'm sure he's going to get there full speed ahead after this is over. But yeah, I think
that's fucking true.
Right?
It's so true. It's so true.
Because you think about how Tayshia would have handled. Okay, so we talked about this last night when we were recapping about how Matt handled when Rachel was doing the pouty, non-communicative, like, okay, well, I am upset because of this. How Tayshia would have handled that in contrast. Matt was just like leading a horse to water. What's the flower?
Oh my God, we got that phrase wrong too.
We had a whole struggle with that same phrase. I still don't know what it is. Lead the horse to water, let him drink it, something.
A horse to a trough?
No idea.
Giving a horse a salt lick? I'm not sure. Okay. That is so weird that I decided to use that phrase then. Random. Okay. Like leading a horse to something that it wants. He just like was all in it like, oh, baby, no, playing that whole game immediately. What Tayshia would have done, on the other hand, Tayshia would have been like, if you're struggling, like you need to let me know so that I can do something for you. But like, I can't do anything for you if you don't communicate. I can't read what's going on in your head. But Matt was like, drama, like hot.
Yeah.
He has a higher threshold for like games and just foolery that I think Tayshia she came in locked and loaded. Literally, she's like, I don't have time for this. I'm not putting myself through this to be in the end with somebody who doesn't know what they want or who's going to have me playing guessing games. And Matt seems to have a higher threshold for that. And as Justine said, Michelle is like this teacher from Minnesota. Like the whole thing is like, great, go that way. And he's being tugged the other way. That just seems like a life of strife. I don't know.
I mean, when was the last time that we've seen a male lead on the show not be all caught up in that though?
Yeah.
Ari?
That's true.
I was gonna say Ari, but even that he switched it up. I don't know.
He got bored. And he tried to mix it up towards the end there.
Exactly.
But he went. Okay, well, that's enough. We won't even go into that because Gray and I are rewatching it right now. But he put Crystal in her place.
Yes, he did.
He did.
I remember that. After the blind date or some shit. I remember that. Yeah,
he was like, you're gonna stay up here. I'm gonna go downstairs, and you're gonna think about what you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Forgot about that.
All right, broads. Well, we're going to take a quick pause. And let me tell you this. We're all very aware, if you're a parent, especially, that kids need constant entertainment, right? I mean, I swear to you, my daughter has an endless supply of energy and curiosity, which I love, but she definitely keeps me on my toes looking for new ways to keep her engaged and fostering her curiosity. And her favorite activity to do, without a doubt, comes straight from her KiwiCo subscription box every month. They are just the best when it comes to educational, parent-friendly, and kid-approved projects.
Jess, can I just tell you that I did Ruth and my first real KiwiCo box together? Because like before it was just toys, but now it's like actual little crafts and activities. She was obsessed with it, and it was so much fun to like be doing a little project with her.
It's so fun, and they make it so like good for each age that they're actually able to do it like really well.
It was
so
perfect.
exciting.
Yeah, she loved it. Okay, anyway, so if you don't know what KiwiCo is, they deliver project crates that focus on single subjects like science, math, geography, or art. They're for kiddos of all ages too, and they help teach kids new concepts in ways that really make sense to them and are interesting to them and, fun to do with them too as the adult. Whether that's exploring the solar system or learning about chemistry through colorful lab sets or even discovering architecture through cityscapes, each crate encourages children to be innovators and creative thinkers, and we just love it around here.
Absolutely love it. And if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen videos of my daughter Ember freaking out over her KiwiCo boxes. She absolutely loves them. And as a parent, it's just so much fun to see her do all these projects like Becca and I are just talking about and learn a new subject matter all on her own. And KiwiCo does such a good job of including everything you could possibly need inside the crate and making the instructions simple enough that kiddos can do their own crates independently, like we were saying, which instills confidence in them. And seeing that really is the best feeling in the world.
KiwiCo they're redefining learning. They have hands-on projects that really build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. And there's something for every kid or kid at heart at KiwiCo. And you're going to get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code chatty at kiwico.com. That's 30% off your first month at KIWICO.com, promo code chatty.
Well, Broads, I don't want to harp on something we are all very painfully aware of, but we are coming up on 1 year of this new normal, which is so wild.
My God.
And I have to ask, Broads, are you okay? And I know the instinct when someone asks you if you're okay is probably to just brush it off. I know that I always go like, I'm fine, but we've been through a wild ride of a year. And if you're not okay, that's okay. Trust me, you're not alone. No more, or now more than ever, is the perfect time to prioritize your mental health. And with Talkspace, it's easier and more accessible than ever before.
I mean, really, like if you're like me, if you're a mom who's, working from home, how are you going to find time to like go to a therapist? I mean, Talkspace makes it really easy. If you've considered therapy in the past, but for whatever reason didn't follow through, maybe you're like me, Talkspace is what you've been waiting for. The whole process is done digitally, which means no waiting rooms or no trying to find access to in-network doctors who are also in your area. You'll have access to your dedicated therapist 24/7 via unlimited messaging. So that means you can really be held accountable and make noticeable changes. And the best part is Talkspace costs just a fraction of the cost of in-person therapy.
It doesn't matter what you're going through. Talkspace can help. With therapists in over 40 different specialties, there is a perfect match for you just waiting to help. I am a huge advocate for therapy. And if you're on the fence, I can't encourage you enough to give it a try. Having an unbiased person to listen can work wonders for your mental health. Trust me.
And as a listener of Chatty Broads, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace. So to match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com or download the app and make sure to use code Chatty to get $100 off your first month. And you can show your support for the show. That's Chatty at Talkspace.com.
Yeah, no, that's so true, huh? That all the men. Peter. Well, my God. I mean, that's not even.
Sometimes his mama too. His mother loves drama and mess. So
love the mess. You see where he get it from.
Yep. And she's been doing a lot of a nice IGTV. She's doing she's having
on Instagram.
Have you seen? She's having random followers hop on, and she's doing like a talk show with random followers.
Yep.
Oh, yep. Somebody get his mama off of social media. This is crazy.
Let's get her on the pod. We need her on the pod.
Oh yeah, we want.
She'd say way too much shit. She would just.
She gonna spill it.
You know that
she was doing. She was doing lives with Dylan's mom. Remember?
Yes. She was doing lives with other moms from like different casts, and it was just like,
oh my God.
Did your sweet baby also suffer the backlash of the show? How is your darling doing? Speaking of Peter, I saw some TikTok that's floating around where there's like numerous girls that have been posting videos of like, this is my sister and she brought Pete home, and he's just like going to clubs and going home with random girls, and just they're like videoing him, and I'm just like, Peter,
why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised at all?
The love of God.
No NDA, nothing.
You don't
take those phones, gather them up
in a basket. Like what? Oh no!
You'd think that it'd be like, Peter, I mean, okay, you're gonna go to a club, you're gonna go home with someone, maybe bring her back to your hotel room or something. You're going home with these like
He's
groups.
like, this is what I do at my parents' house. We just go and fuck in the den while they're in the kitchen.
Jesus.
No, for real.
Oh my God.
It's a family affair. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, remember what Jack said? He was like, Peter, you like to party. You like to have a good time. Jack let us know what the man is all about.
Let us know. Exactly. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Yeah. We knew this man's true colors. We knew it.
It's true. You know, I do get the energy from Peter that, like, as much, let's just say he listened to all of our podcasts and hear all of the shit we talk on him. He's the type of guy that I feel like you'd bump into him at a club and he'd be like, oh yeah, you talked a ton of shit on your podcast. And I'd be like, you want to come back to the house and party? And he'd be like, why not? And he just would be like, he would forgive and forget very easily. A little bit of Casamigos. And he's just like, did I tell you about my plane? Like, I feel like he'd move on quickly.
Honestly, I respect that. I respect that energy from him. I just don't want to see it on my TV anymore is kind of how I feel.
Exactly. No. I don't want to watch a season of it.
So
speaking of watching, go ahead.
No. So Matt's season. I
know that you two have thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. One of the first things I wanted to ask about is towards the top of the season, when Matt had the conversation with Chris Harrison, the first sit down. And then I heard on both your podcast about, you know, basically him saying, like, this was the moment where it's like, you should just say that you're going to pick a white girl. Can you talk about y'all's thoughts on that, like in that conversation? Because Becca and I didn't really get into it. We wanted to have this discussion with both of you because after seeing your thoughts on your podcast, I'm like, okay, I want to hear from Justine and Natasha on this. Because, you know, as a white woman listening to it, I'm kind of just like, okay, like these are experiences that he's talking about that he's going to have to go through, the certain pressures that I hadn't thought about. And so that's the way that I'm processing it. And then listening to your episode afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is,
Yeah, I think he wanted to open up a discussion to let us all know that we as Black viewers should not have the expectation of a Black love story on this particular season. Chris Harrison was obviously the wrong person to facilitate said discussion. He was like, what do you mean, man? Peace and love. Everybody wants to find love. What are you talking about? Race? That's not a thing. It's a construct. Like, he was just so tone deaf to the entire situation. And I asked some of my white friends who watched the show what they thought, and they were like, what conversation? What do you mean? I don't remember. So he was talking to Black viewers, I think, you know, and saying, like, I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do. Or
don't have any expectations.
Don't have an expectation. For me. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Which, like I said, is fine, but I don't think the first Black Bachelor should have to have a warning, a Surgeon General warning at the front of the season, you know? I don't think.
I think also, like, it was almost like he was speaking, can come off as like speaking cryptically, like, I don't want certain groups to be afraid, like, to be mad or blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't cryptic to the Black viewer who was watching. And it was like, oh, he's speaking to me. He's letting me know he's choosing a white girl. Like, it was very direct and clear. And I was like, oh, so this is how we're starting off the first Black Bachelor season with this conversation. These are words coming out of his mouth. And he's doing it with Chris Harrison, who was so ill-equipped for this conversation. Then, okay, let's start the season. Like, yeah, wild.
Yeah, it is funny because it came off to us totally differently. We're like, wow, he's acknowledging that, like, he won't be able to please everyone, and, like, you know, that different people are going to have different expectations for him, etc. But when you frame it in that context, it makes a lot of sense. And then now watching the rest of the season, and I mean, we don't know for sure how it ends, but I've been saying for the past 4 weeks, I'm like, it's Rachel all the way. He's picking Rachel.
Yeah. And I think I understand what he's saying in that, I mean, Rachel Lindsay, same thing. She was the first Black Bachelorette. There's that extra pressure of Black people watching, like, you better pick a Black guy. Like, I understand what he's saying, but I think in that conversation, you know, Chris Harrison asked him, like, what are your worries? And he was saying, like, one of his biggest worries is this expectation, this pressure. And it's like, this is your biggest worry after being the first Black Bachelor for this here franchise? That's your biggest worry? Like that, all of that kind of like sat wrong. And then just the conversation with Chris just felt clunky, and he was not the one to do it. So
he was not the individual who should have been having this initial conversation to start this season off. That's for sure. Yeah. So who are the favorites and the least favorites of this season?
Ooh, of the whole season.
Yeah.
Pick one favorite and one. Okay, there's some obvious least favorites, but I want to know like a non-obvious one. Like don't make like Victoria or Rachel your answers.
Oh, okay. Damn. Oh, you know what? Katie got on my nerves.
Really?
Katie got on my nerves.
Rock with Katie at all.
Katie got no. I call her Captain Save-A-Ho. Nope.
Wait. So
I'm not gonna lie. Now you make me feel like I'm in a safe place. Like at this point, like I respect Katie still. And I think she's nice, but like I think she's really gonna get on my nerves if I have to watch a whole season of her. Peace and love.
So if she is Bachelorette, it's not gonna be the cup of tea that
I mean, I can't ever trust it because Hannah Brown was a great Bachelorette. She served us up a great season, and she got off she wasn't even like on my last nerve. I just thought she was like dumb and like whatever. So I can't really trust it just from the one season. But Katie, nope.
Okay,
no from
Katie.
me. Yeah.
See, this is the hot take I was looking for.
I think, it's just, I know Justine, because we talked about it on the show, it's just like the full story arc that she was given. Like she comes for the little, she like helps the little guy, and she, you know, is also sexually like
liberated.
Positive. It's a liberator, like all these things. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, she's basic. I'm sorry.
She's basic. She got a TikTok. She's a bank clerk or whatever the hell they told us she was. Get the fuck out of here. Share for TikTok.
Oh my god, no, I love it. I'm one of the basic. I'm a basic who's a basic Katie fan. I'm just like,
that's fine. And I can see how you could be a fan of her. Yeah.
But I appreciate this hot take for the least favorite. This is
really though. You're gonna put her above Sarah on the docket of like most annoying. I mean,
you know. But Sarah, I can't even hate the game, because Sarah left and was like, my father is sick. I have to go. And now she is selling them white polyester dresses on Instagram. Living. I love it.
With no even pretenses. Like, you don't see her dad in her stories.
Nothing.
On her posts.
Nothing.
Like, she's like, I am his caretaker. Then she's like, boo-hoo, 20% off.
Listen, go for it, girl. Go.
Yeah. And there were and she walked away, and there was like lore of Sarah. Like, do you know who she dated? Have you heard? Did you see all these photos of her?
Love it. I do love that.
The whole thing.
So she walked away with a story.
Yeah. I can't stand Kit. Kit was probably one of my least favorites this season. I just don't.
Natasha, you should have heard me coming for her in our first few episodes. I was saying some vile things about that woman.
Damn. No. Vile though. What'd she do to you, Becca?
I was like, the only thing she has to tout is her mom and her money. And like, I was just, I was disgusted.
Yeah,
Gross.
Becca was displeased before the show started to an extreme level.
Yep.
Yes.
Jess's husband was like, I love it. I think it's funny. And I'm like, this is literally what's wrong with the world is Kit. That's how I felt about everything.
Exactly.
She grew on me.
She leans into her character being like the privileged white girl from New York City. Like, fresh out of
this is
fashion school.
rideshare
Her mom's a fashion
vibes.
designer.
Yeah.
Right. This is the
I'm like, you're saying you're too good for Uber?
This is ride share vibes. Oh my God.
Ride share.
I think I said on our podcast, I was like, yo, Becca is like the Bethany of, like how Bethany is on Housewives. So people are like, I want to be a housewife because I could be like Bethany and be $60 million. And I could have to, no, not every 22-year-old on The Bachelor is ready for marriage and ready for kids. Okay? It's just the one. Only Becca did that. It's just the
Becca
one.
Martinez. That's it.
It's very true. It's very true.
Except I have my beef with. Except, speaking of Bethany, I'm about to bring in a segue right now. I'm about to bring in a segue right now.
Bring in Real Housewives. Is this a Real Housewives segue?
No, actually, it's a segue to something a bunch of people were asking about. Did you see what Bethany said about the Meghan Markle interview?
She gotta go.
No.
Bethany
What'd
gotta
she
go.
say?
Like,
She's gone
Oh.
yeah.
too far.
Bitch, she was like, oh, and someone came back at her. I don't know who. I can't remember who. I'm going to have to look it up. I saw it on someone's Instagram. Basically, okay, I'm going to read it. I'm going to find it and read it right now so you guys can
I
hear.
couldn't believe it.
Damn,
She said, "Cry me a river, the plight of being a game show host, fairly unknown actress, to suffering in a palace with tiaras and 7-figure weddings for 2 whole years, to being a household name with Oprah on speed dial, fetching $7 million for interviews, hundreds of millions in media deals." And then some guy named Christian, who's Christian Snow? Is that someone famous?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
He's like a Bravo guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He said a lot of people could have said "Cry Me a River" to you, a completely unknown softcore porn actress, chef for hire, turned Real Housewives of New York, fetching TV projects that would never get you more than a single season as you continue to publicly share your life's struggles. Imagine.
Oh.
Christian, you ain't wrong. You are not wrong.
I don't see the lie, Christian. I don't see the lie.
None.
Damn, she tweeted that or whatever before or like after or before watching the interview.
Right after
think
watching the
after.
interview. Like right after that shit aired when the world is rocked and everyone is like coming off of this. One of the most intense interviews of our time, right?
Yeah.
And Bethany has the gall to tweet that. I mean,
That's insane.
Ooh.
Damn, Bethany,
okay,
that's gross.
even just putting her own white privilege aside, she should know out of so many people that money does not solve your problems or does not solve your, like,
Exactly.
what?
Watch your marriage burst into flames, girl, on TV.
And we've been watching the divorce for 10 years after.
Humble yourself.
longest
Still watching that
Humble
shit.
yourself.
that's ever happened that we've seen Bethany cry about, and understandably, rightly,
Right.
5,000 times. I've spent about probably an accumulative 30 hours of my whole life watching Bethany cry about her divorce, and I don't even know the woman. And you're going to come for Meghan on this? No. I mean, unbelievable.
Wow.
Absolutely
Damn.
unbelievable.
That's
Okay, so
disappointing.
that was what a lot of people were asking about, though, on the gram. Meghan and Harry interview thoughts. I still haven't watched it, and I haven't heard your thoughts either, Jess.
You haven't watched it.
Oh yeah, we already talked this morning. We're gonna probably rewatch this weekend. Take some more,
Take some more notes.
more thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Take some more notes. Yeah, I think it's a must watch. I mean, first of all, Oprah's just like the best interviewer of all time. She leaves no stone unturned. She asks every question. They don't answer at that time, she'll make sure to double back 5 minutes later and get the answer. So I think it was just like comprehensive thorough interview. But yeah, some shocking shit. The royal family ain't shit. Institution, the firm, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wretched place to be.
Wretched. Every time they kept calling it the firm, I felt chills all up and down my body. I was just like, the firm? Like,
The firm? What does that mean?
Old. It's like the organization behind the royal family, I guess. You have the royal family, like the actual family members, and then there's like the whole organization or the company, the institution that runs the business of the royal family.
Okay.
Sounds like a cold, dark place that has no care for anyone suffering with mental health issues. How they haven't learned since Princess Diana was shocking to me.
Unbelievable.
Not to mention all the race shit.
What was the thing with security? I keep seeing that pop up on social media stuff.
Becca, not only did they not have security after, at like the start of 2020, they stripped Harry of his security and his finances, right? They were like, you're done.
All security.
All security. Number 2, they had to move in with Tyler Perry.
He was the only one who would protect them, and he took
Literally
care of
gave
them
them
with his
security.
security.
Tyler
Wait, I'm sorry.
Perry.
What?
Fun fact. It's like the funnest fact of 2020.
What? Why? I have so many questions. What do you mean that? Why did they move with Tyler Perry?
I have
should
no clue.
No idea. The royal family kicked them to the curb, and Tyler Perry swooped in and saved the day, basically. Provided them shelter and security. Like
The real royal family. That's what that is. For real. I mean, also, no, your reaction to Tyler Perry, Oprah's face during this interview. I mean, Becca, they left. Wait,
why did they strip them of? Okay, I'm probably going to piss off so many people, like everyone who's listening to the podcast right now who has watched the interview by now because it's coming out on Thursday.
Yeah.
Why did they lose their security and their money?
Because they moved. Because they were like, we got to go.
They moved out of the palace. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. When they moved to Canada, and they were like, Harry, you're stripped of your this, your that, da, da, da. And then now he's stripped of like his titles, his army, everything. Like now everything's really gone. But then they stripped him of, they cut him off financially, and then they cut off his security. So he could just walk around in the Trader Joe's with nobody around.
Nobody.
That's fine.
And they also refused to give the baby a title.
Yeah.
That was like a huge thing. No explanation as to why. Just coincidentally, this one child, they're not going to title him.
Mm-hmm.
And because he doesn't have a title, he won't be entitled to any royal security.
Mm-hmm.
Meghan was going through her own mental health issues. She was facing all kinds of, racial bullying from the press that the firm was not protecting her against. Just a mess. Just a whole bunch of mess. And they both were like, peace. We out.
Yep. And Meghan was talking about then before Archie, the baby, was born, that there was conversations about.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard
all
of
his
all this.
skin, and like and then that then coupled with everything else, and she was just talking about, and we talked about this on our episode, our recap of this past Fantasy Suite episode, because we had then listened to Rachel Lindsay on Juliet Littman's, and she compared the conversation with Matt and his dad. Obviously, it's very different, but a parallel to Meghan feeling like I put my trust in this royal family and they exploited me. How ABC, how she's felt through this franchise, how Matt's felt, where it's and that was so clear in this interview. And I also was I loved. You have to watch, and I have to rewatch it too. I want to do the same thing that both of you are doing, because there was so much happening at once that I was like, oh my God, I can't even process everything that's happening.
Your jaws on the floor the whole time.
Yep.
Like one thing after the next.
I couldn't believe it. I turned it on, and like Evan, my husband Evan, walked by, and he was just like, I don't understand the obsession with the royal family. I don't know anything, whatever. He walked by in 2 seconds and he was just like, keep it going. He just couldn't believe it. And it was like, this is unreal. And I just loved that Oprah too, as soon as Harry came out, she was not letting Harry, she was not.
Get away with that press PR standard of talking, because he was very like, I love my grandmother. But
and he was talking about the Queen, and then also talking about the fact that
meanwhile Meghan's just like, fuck that bitch.
Straight up.
Dude.
It's what's so weird too, Becca, is that when they were having the conversation, it legit sounded like the Queen was kind of the only one that they still were like in a relationship with, that they were like had any fondness towards, really.
So they're like cut off from Will and Kate.
They're like estranged from Charles, from Will. It seems like only Queen Elizabeth is the only one that they still fuck with. Basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was like, if Prince Philip dies, are they going to go to the funeral?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Good question. I don't know.
And she's
I really don't know.
she is like, she's like, oh, my baby's doing the summer. Girl, your baby's doing May. She was looking solid, right? Like,
the baby's coming.
That baby's coming. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they definitely will now. I saw that Queen Elizabeth came out by the way, Broads, today's Tuesday when we're recording, and Elizabeth came out with a statement.
She did?
She made a statement today.
Oh, I missed that.
It was very PR, very like, we're so sorry to hear that Meghan felt that way from her perspective, or said something like bullshit like that. You know, that's obviously something that we're going to be privately checking on in our family home, blah, blah, blah. It's just like,
we'll send an email.
Yeah. It's like everybody saw the interview. We all know the bullshit, the creepiness. But I mean, yeah,
terrible.
It was unreal.
Very, very weird.
Unreal.
Oh, wait. I wanted to say one more thing about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy how many people I was seeing, not including Bethany, on social media saying like she knew what she was getting herself into. And I gotta say, like, not comparing my experience on The Bachelor to Meghan Markle's entering the royal family, but I thought I knew it was going to be like being on a reality TV show. I thought I knew it was going to be like getting famous, you know. I thought I knew what it was going to be like coming off of The Bachelor, and I was not prepared, and I don't think anyone can really be prepared for that shit until they go through it. I really don't think you know what you're signing up for until you experience it, especially on that massive of a scale. And you're obviously going to find out so many like secrets and all this other shit that's going on, and all these different ways you have to behave, and like codes that you have to abide by as being part of the royal family. I don't think anyone can be prepared for that or know what they're getting into, like, or when you have kids, or when you're postpartum and you're being forced to do interviews and like all this crazy shit. There is no way she knew what she was getting herself. It's impossible.
Yeah. And I think also it seemed like she wasn't someone who like knew or obsessed a lot about the royal family before. Like even me, like I fought, like I know Harry, I know Kate, I know like the very basics. Sure. I don't follow the royal family. Yeah. I think she was kind of the same. And so she knew kind of like the surface level and had an expectation like, okay, this is British royalty. It's going to be a little, you know, certain things I'm going to have to learn. I don't think hoity-toity. I don't think she knew like the craziness of British tabloids and that whole layer, and how that, I think that was a huge part that she just like did not know was coming her way. Like the crazy backlash and the like insane stories that the press just are able to make up there. Like, I don't think she knew that was coming, and I don't know how anyone would ever know how to prepare for that anyways. Like,
except I wonder if Harry could have like I wonder how much Harry told her.
But
he was raised in it though, so there's a level of like that's all you know. So how do you explain that to somebody to a certain? Also,
but I feel like he went through. But I feel like with his party boy phase, he did experience a different layer of it.
It's true.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that. Like there was a lot going on when he was you know, a young adult that he wouldn't have experienced in terms of like tabloid exposure and speculation. So I feel like, I don't know, I just wonder what their conversations were like before entering into this marriage.
It sounded like I mean, at least when you watch them in this interview, like they have a very communicative, very like good marriage. But it's the same thing, right? It's like you can be a professional. This is so random. I'm thinking leading the horse to water, but it's like you can be a professional equestrian and ride a horse and explain it to somebody, but until they're actually on a horse, like you can't. It's just even as much as you explain it, and like you were saying too, Natasha, about the British tabloids. I mean, it's wild to even see like the difference in reality TV over there, like Love Island, like all the contestants of Love Island. What you've seen, so many people unfortunately end their lives. The tabloids are ruthless over there to a whole. I mean, and it's bad here. It's a whole different level over there. So I'd assume Meghan, who's already like famous and has dealt with like paparazzi and all
Right.
that,
Yeah.
right? But then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, then you're in the royal family, like the most talked about, obsessed about thing in the tabloids. Becca, she was talking about how they would host, like the royal family hosts the like OK Magazine type places, like in the palace. They host them. They have
Like
this
holiday
like
parties. And
yeah,
Stuff.
Yeah.
they have this like symbiotic relationship.
What?
Yeah.
To what?
There's
To
a lot
what
more.
benefit? Like to what
I
gain?
guess. So they have some protections,
Yeah.
some like standard as to like you can't just go off the wall printing whatever about us.
Yeah.
I don't really know because they still post whatever. I mean, they had there's like front page news where they're like comparing baby Archie to like a chimp, to a monkey. Like they post that type of shit in Britain,
Yeah.
and they somehow their tabloid system they could just do whatever. I don't know how.
Which I don't know how
they're
that is. Paparazzi
I
killed
don't know.
Diana. Adele, we have never seen her child because she was like, oh no, I have all the money and I'll take yours too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they haven't learned yet. I don't understand.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well,
unreal.
that sounds dark.
British broads,
Real
write in.
opportunity.
You guys have an email address, so you'll write in?
Explain this to us.
Please, because it's like you think it's bad over here, and then you see some of like you see the paparazzi over there, and it's just next level. Like holy shit!
Amy Winehouse. We literally watched her die. They documented her death. They were there at every step of the way, taking pictures of everything. Like they are and posting insane stories about Amy Winehouse.
Yeah,
Like
I remember that too.
I don't understand the system over there. I would love somebody to explain it because their paparazzi, their tabloids is like next fucking level.
You really think it's that much more gnarly than in America?
Yeah,
Really?
I think so. I don't know if it's because more people like buy the magazines, maybe. I don't know, but it's so bad. Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know any tabloid over here that would get away with posting a front page story comparing
No.
her baby to a monkey. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know
Not
how they
that,
get
but-
away with that over there.
Not that, but then Kim Kardashian is not on the same level. But I was just thinking about how Kim Kardashian was posting when the Britney Spears documentary came out about like how she was getting compared to a whale when she had like preeclampsia when she was pregnant with North, and how everyone was just like saying how fat and disgusted. Like all these different headlines were like Kim gains 50 pounds, like her worst nightmare, like she's fat and falling apart, like very different, but kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly.
You think it's I mean, in both senses, the paparazzi. It's just,
Yeah.
it's time to go. It's
Rattled.
time to go. How in God's name are you legally allowed to take a photo of someone when they're like privately doing their own? Yes, they're in public, but they're outside. They're not like on a set somewhere. Like I can't believe that paparazzi are legal. Like you can't take someone's photo, print it on a shirt and sell it. But I, as a paparazzi, can sell a photo for like $1 million of someone like with their baby outside in a parking lot trying to like, you know, put them in, like strap them in the car. Like that's the wildest thing to me ever. The paparazzi, I just, no.
Meanwhile, me Googling photos being like Kylie Jenner pregnant photos when she was, when all the rumors were going around. I'm like,
Oh my God, that's right. Because she hid. I forgot about that.
yeah.
That
And I will
was
never forget
intense.
this. One of her like employees or housekeepers at her house took a fucking photo down the hallway of her in her own house with her little pregnant belly. It was like a blurry photo. But I was like, can you imagine how you would feel? Like,
That's so violating.
Do you imagine
So
how
violating.
much money that housekeeper would owe Kylie Jenner if she
Right.
that?
She did anything with that photo?
Woo.
can you imagine how much
that's
she
crazy.
made off of that photo?
How much she made? Potentially, yeah.
Millions.
Damn.
It had to be
Yeah.
millions. Where wasn't that? What was the one photo of Britney that the guy got $1 million for? He was saying that could happen if you got like the right photo. $1 million.
$1 million.
Well, that's where it's like, I mean, I know it's unethical to profit off of someone's fame, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, I wouldn't hate. I don't know if I could hate someone trying to get a secret photo of me pregnant if they were literally going to set up their whole family for life from that one photo. I'm like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not saying that it's ethical or right, but damn, I kind of understand where they're coming from.
It's a vehicle of capitalism for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, 1 second. Let me grab my baby.
Yeah. Oh, someone's upset over there.
While she's grabbing the baby, okay, let's get back to Bachelor. So we have the least favorite from this season. Who are the favorites? Who are your personal
favorite?
Yeah.
Michelle. I do really like Michelle.
Yeah, we love her.
Oh, baby. We have to always remember she came in like 3 weeks late.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Oh my God, I forgot she was in the second wave.
She was in the second wave. She has not been here that long. The second wave. The new strain, the new variant. But I just like her very like natural connection with Matt. And in this episode in particular, she like going into the nighttime dinner portion, she like immediately tells him like, just know that you can be open with me, you can share anything with me. She like always knows to say the right thing to make him feel comfortable, because he looks very uncomfortable and all the time, and you can tell he struggles with vulnerability, and she just kind of creates like a nice open space, like very, Justine said, she's like very much a teacher, like very teacher like, but not in a way that's like warm and comforting and like someone you want to
open up to, not condescending. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm a Michelle fan. The show.
Love Michelle. I love also purely for the looks, Serena C with them looks. Ooh.
Yeah, Serena C. I mean, always, every single outfit she would turn the corner, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Was she the one with the brown leather pants?
No, Jess? Serena P. We're talking about Serena C, the voice that I like to do.
No. Who was wearing the brown leather pants?
Serena P.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you guys are talking about the looks of Serena C.
Serena C,
okay. Always with like, I mean, she'd have a killer boot on. She'd have a great like little onesie situation tucked in, like a deep, I mean, the hair, the lashes.
The lashes. Yeah.
The lashes were enviable.
They were good.
I feel like she's definitely, there's a potential for a big Serena C moment in Paradise for sure.
Yes, definitely. Because I can't even imagine her beach looks. I can't even fathom.
Oh my God.
They're going to be great.
It's like I see a bathing suit with like, she definitely will wear like a chain, like one of the jewelry chains around the tummy.
All the way down, yes.
Oh, yes, so good.
A lot of accessories. I can see.
Yes, stilettos in the sand, angry about going into the sand, like very agitated.
Never a wedge. Always a stiletto. Yes.
Always the tie up, the ballet tie up. Oh, she's so good. Oh,
I could not stand her.
I didn't know you could not stand her too. Like personally, it's just the looks. That's the looks. Yeah.
You gave that disclaimer at the beginning, so I'm not hating, but God, I could not stand her attitude. Drove me nuts.
I couldn't. The attitude was a thing, but I couldn't help but be obsessed. The side comments, the commentary on the side, I just love so much. I love that her voice never went, like, it was monotone the entire time.
Dude, the problem is with this season is that I have so many least favorites and not enough favorites. I'm like, MJ hated her. Yeah. Serena C hated her.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you know what I loved? I loved Jasenia.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Jasenia is a queen.
Jasenia was amazing. She was amazing.
She's gonna have a Paradise moment too.
Okay, there feels like there's gonna be a lot. I mean, this Paradise is gonna be like super sized. Like who are the people that you were like, we must see on Paradise?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so we're talking Tasia season 2 now,
and Pete's season.
Damn, Peter season 2. Who was even
You
on
know
Peter
we're going to
season?
see Madison and Hannah Ann coming out of the woodwork.
You
Oh,
think
God.
in a One Piece exclusively? You think a high neck One Piece? Oh no!
I'm calling it now. She is in the one piece wearing Converse.
Oh,
And the men are going to be putty in her hands. Putty in her hands. We're going to be watching Serena C strut around in those stilettos, be like, yes, yes, girl. And the men are going to be like, check out those Converse. And we'll be like,
so down to earth.
God. So
she's
down to
not,
earth.
like, she's not like other girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Franklin,
God.
who do you think is going to have their moment
Aw.
in paradise? Sorry, we're waiting for Grandma to come out of the bathroom right now to take over, but he is having a moment on the podcast. Work it, Okay.
well, broads, you can join us in simplifying our lives in whatever way we can. It's been one heck of a year, and the best thing we can all do for ourselves is shorten those never-ending to-do lists with Stamps.com. With Stamps.com, you can permanently mark go to the post office off your list, whether you need to ship boxes or maybe send orders for your business or even just stock up on stamps. Stamps.com can do it all and save you a lot of time and money along the way.
I mean, there really isn't anything you can do at the post office that you can't do online from your home with Stamps.com. You use your home computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, or class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Like I've sent stuff to Canada through Stamps.com. So easy.
Hey.
All you have to do is schedule a pickup or a drop off. Or you can drop off your parcels when you're ready. I use Stamps.com for everything now, and the time it has saved me is invaluable. I love not having to wait in line at the post office because I swear, even if you go at like a 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, there's going to be 50 people out the door.
There's always a wild line. I've been using Stamps.com for like 7 years or something like that. It's changed the game for me. And it gets even better because, like I said, not only will you save time, you'll also save money. Stamps.com gives you discounts that you can't even get at the post office, like 40% off post office shipping rates and up to 62% off UPS shipping rates, which is wild. That ends up saving you so much money in the long run.
Yeah, so stop wasting time, go to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There's no risk. And with our promo code Chatty, you're going to get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. So there's no long-term commitments or contracts. You just go to Stamps.com. You click at the mic at the top of the homepage and you type in Chatty. Stamps.com, promo code Chatty. Stamps.com, never go to the post office again.
Broads, have you ever had the feeling where you get your paycheck and you're so excited, like on cloud nine excited, and then you realize almost the entire thing has to go right to credit card bills? It is the biggest buzzkill of all time. The feeling is just... It is just too familiar for me personally. I have been there many times before, and I think most people have, which is why I know how important it is to get your finances under control, which is why Upstart is so amazing. It helps bring the financial freedom to you. It's within reach because of Upstart.
Upstart is the fast, easy way to get a personal loan to help you pay off your debt. The whole thing's done online, and they really make it an easy process to understand. And it's an even easier process to complete. So Upstart works with their trusted partners to get you the best rates possible based on more than just your credit score. And all it takes is a 5-minute check, and you're going to have rates available for loans from $1,000 to $50,000 just ready for your review.
You can even get approved the same day and have the funds available as quickly as the next business day. And as someone who is struggle city when it comes to understanding finances, I can say the folks at Upstart make it very manageable to understand too. Finances can be stressful, overwhelming, and in all honesty, soul-crushing, but there is a way out. Take back control of your finances with Upstart.
Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/chatty. That's upstart.com/chatty. Please don't forget to use our URL so they know that we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit income and certain other info provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/chatty.
Now, speaking of the guys, who is going to be the most sought after man on the beach?
Ooh, great question.
Ooh. Riley, Dr. Joe. I'm calling it now.
Ooh,
Riley? I think so. Riley's on Instagram flexing. You'll see Riley on Instagram?
Bless
So
him.
true. He has been working out a ton lately. He's been posting that. He's getting beach
posting.
ready. He's getting beach
Oh,
ready.
you know who's going to have their moment? And Jess and I will be livid. I will be... I don't know. I have a hard time even talking about him without getting absurdly heated.
Ooh, me too.
Ben.
Yeah, I knew that was it. Ben from Tasia. He's gonna clean up in Paradise. He's gonna clean up.
He is.
Yeah,
Yep.
he is.
We predict next Blake energy. Like he's definitely been sliding into everybody's DMs.
I pray. I can only pray to the Lord on high that happens.
Yeah, all the
that
girls
he
come
gets-
down there with beef already.
Yeah.
A bad edit.
Yeah, he's gonna clean up. Yeah, he's gonna clean up or just be in some mess.
Yeah.
Trying to repair his image the whole time. I think
Wait.
Ivan is gonna do well in Paradise.
Yes. Ivan will do so well.
I hope he finds his
Ivan will do
love.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I saw someone post like they're shipping Ivan and Jasenia, and I'm like, oh, I like that pair,
okay.
Ivan and Jasenia together.
I can see that.
You don't
could
like
see
it?
that.
Boring. No.
Boring.
No, Ivan needs to be with someone a little bit more... someone a little more spicy.
Spicier.
I feel like Jasenia.
I feel like they're on the same page, you know? They're both like really like cool, respectful people.
Yeah.
Like
Down to
same
earth.
same
It would work
vibe.
for sure.
Yeah. You know who I hope is working, but she might be on Paradise is Chelsea. Like I hope for those looks
yeah.
that she. I mean, just the intro alone, she was
I mean,
like
I know.
murder.
no, it's and you already know the song. She'll be doing her runway walk down the sand. She's the
Down the
supermodel. Oh gosh, no, it's so true.
Okay, I need to talk real quick though. Jess, this is something we did not cover that we've been meaning to cover about Ben in particular. I can't wait to talk about it. He and Noah were like two of the only guys from Tayshia's season to not do the solidarity post about the Chris Harrison thing.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
And Jess brought it up and was like, interesting how like so many different women are getting shit. The women of the Bachelor
Yeah.
franchise always get hold to higher standards.
Yes. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ben is like Mr. Woke King, you know, like I love you, BB. That's what he likes to portray of himself.
Oh.
Like, you know, he's well,
Justine, you're like, huh? What are you talking about?
I feel
He has a gym. He has like a queer friendly gym or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And he was all about, you know, like mental health. Yeah, exactly. Queer friendly, body positive gym. And I found it very interesting that he didn't take any time out of his posting about his fucking gym all the time to even just repost the little frame.
Even a
that, like,
repost.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it
did not
was
see that.
it was interesting because it's like, and I was talking
and no
to
one
Becca
says shit about it either.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I'm like, I see so many women from the show
Yeah.
be pressured, and especially the women of color, which to me is ridiculous. It's like, why are they getting pressured to address all these topics, and then the men aren't getting held to the standard, but then specifically, like, I'm sorry, Ben has the most followers of all the guys from the season. I think
That's crazy.
minus Zach, because he got top 2, and it's like it's been dead silence from anything. Him addressing, not only posting the solidarity post, but talking about anything, supporting like any cause, nothing.
Right.
And I just found it so interesting. All these people were like calling out like certain people, and Ben kind of faded into the background a little bit. And you know, same thing too with Noah. Like, you know, Noah, his bio is like, I love Jesus, and you know, and I'm just like, what would Jesus do, Noah? What would Jesus do? Stay silent on these topics? I think not, my guy.
No.
I think
No, it doesn't shock me at all. That doesn't shock me in the least. Isn't he from Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, I did not know. That is disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
It's been radio silence, and
Wow.
I'm pretty convinced that Ben is really trying to stay in the good graces of production.
Oh.
Of course he is.
You know,
I was just going to say, because I'm like, okay, if your auntie is Chef Antonia, then your niece is Heavy D's daughter. You're not going to say something?
yeah.
Like,
True.
you know what I mean? But, oh, okay. Oh.
But then
Because Colton energy, he will do anything.
Yeah. Oh my God. Ew. Colton energy. Oh,
Colton
no.
energy.
Did I tell you
Colton
that
energy.
someone told me, someone in the inside told me that he did tell one of the producers straight up on Paradise, like, just tell me what I need to say and do to become the Bachelor.
Colton?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Straight up, just tell me what I need to say and do. And he did what he needed to say and did and done, and he became the Bachelor. And who has that fucking energy? Ben, a fucking simp for production, a fucking simp for Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
Anything Ben needs to do.
Becca's having a moment.
But it definitely makes sense to me, right? Like, so if Ben, if he then wants to
That
stay,
makes so much sense, though, Jess. I hadn't heard your take on that. And that makes a lot of sense.
if he wants to stay in the good graces of production, he's
Yeah.
gonna stay silent about Chris Harrison. He's gonna he's not gonna talk about Rachel Lindsay and standing up for Rachel Lindsay and speaking out. And my thing is, it's like, I believe the man wants to go on Paradise, and he's seen Colton, he's seen Nick Viall, where it's like, you go on Paradise, then you become the next Bachelor.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were talking about, like, he was the favorite of many people. It was like, I wish Ben was the Bachelor. So I feel like he's trying to keep his, for lack of a better term, hands clean from certain opinions and kind of stay vanilla so that nobody can say anything about him and have opinions and just be like, we love him.
Yeah, right.
That's what it seems.
That's crazy. But that's whack, because it seems like almost he's like now in the minority in terms of someone who hasn't said anything.
Right.
Yes.
That's the weird thing to me.
Yeah.
At this point, everybody has done something.
Yeah.
Even a little performative post, a little performative repost. Like, everybody's done something at this rate. So you're in the minority, my dude. Like, what?
Well, speaking of all the performative posts and being performative, we would love to hear the take on Chris Harrison's Good Morning America apology. I'll put quotations around apology.
I said that I think he sealed his fate for not coming back after that apology, personally.
Wow. Okay.
How do you come back from that? And this franchise is trash. I don't put much past them, but I just foresee potential advertisers pulling if they announce that he's coming back, because that apology, his thing with Rachel Lindsay aside, was horrible. This apology right after it was just as horrible in a different way.
I can't see anyone being impressed by that. Like,
I was impressed. He's yet to redeem himself. So are we waiting for another apology, like a better one than that? I mean, how is he going to come back and host after that apology? It just doesn't. I think
he embarrassed his supporters. I think his supporters were like,
yeah, I think he did too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see how there's any reckoning after that, unless he comes back with another apology on top of the apology. Like, what are we doing now? Now we're just moving mountains to keep him here. Like, come on.
It's like an inception of apologies, like him within one apology, within another apology, within another apology. You're just like, what is happening right now?
You guys, it's not the first time we've seen it in the past couple weeks. So
yeah.
Multiple apologies upon apologies.
Yeah.
The apology for the apology that was for the apology that was. What do you think happened, though? This man is the TV host. Like, how did he? I just was so blown away. I was like, how do you fuck this up? Like, I get that he had a little like PR script, but how do you not like? What it really showed to me is like how not confident and like how undereducated he was in actually being able to say the right thing. Like, I felt like it showed like really how he is so fucking ignorant because he doesn't even know how to speak naturally and casually on like on what he was talking about. Like
he couldn't even give his own apology from his heart because it's not there. He doesn't apologize.
He's not sorry.
He's not sorry.
Yeah.
So all he could do was deliver this scripted PR, like, you know, dossier. And it came off exactly which was not sincere.
Which he couldn't even bother to memorize?
Yeah.
Or put over the Zoom computer? Like, you couldn't even type it out for a sticky and then put it, like, you couldn't even...
To use a teleprompter, you can afford it.
Straight up, that's what I was thinking.
Is your son somewhere? Wasn't he the cameraman for you earlier? Have him hold some cue cards.
Ear. Have a fucking little earpiece.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, is he looking down at a script right now? Like, what is happening? Michael Strahan afterwards was everything because I was watching it and I just felt it was just dead silence. It's just like the feeling of crickets in my heart watching this. Like, is that just what happened? And then Michael Strahan was just like, I mean, that was his apology. So,
alrighty.
I think that's a man who clearly wants to keep his job. I mean, there's no better description than when he said that. It was like, and I was laughing so hard because I told Becca, I was like, I thought I had seen that he was going to be interviewed by Billy Bush. And so part of me was dying thinking about Chris Harrison, the Zoom coming on and thinking he was going to have Billy Bush sitting across from him. And then it's Michael Strahan and him being like fuck.
So, yeah. Damn.
I know. Also, like, what I always think of when this, in these kind of, like, when, with this is I'm like, you're really that afraid that, like, your racism and your ignorance is going to jump out. Like, that's what I always think of when you have to stick to the script so hard. It's like not even that, it's not even that you're ignorant on what you're talking about. It's that you're that afraid that you're going to say some fucked up shit because you literally have not put in any work to try to get rid of that fucked up shit that is playing on like autopilot in your head all the time. That just went on fucking autopilot when you were talking to Rachel. I just still could not believe that interview. I was like, you're on TV, my man. Like, what?
He was on autopilot for real.
He was. Yep.
I just could not believe. I'm like, bro, you have been in the spotlight for 20 years now, and you just really don't know what oh man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It was bad. And I love how Rachel and Michael Strahan just kind of sit back and let him bury himself.
Yeah.
Michael could have jumped in a couple times, let me kind of help this brother out. No, he just let him sit there and look down at his script and find his next line. And Rachel too, just let him have at it. Go on autopilot. I'm not jumping in to save you. This is you. Go right at it.
Totally. And then I don't know, I saw Rachel's, some of her statements afterwards, and she was saying, like, first of all, she was like, I accept his apology for myself because I need to just accept it to move forward. It wasn't like, Rachel, definitely the statement wasn't just like, oh my God, yes, look at the validity of this. It was like for herself, she needs to. Yeah. But then I saw her, or I heard her, I think it was I forget what interview it is now, but she said that, like, she's like, no, they're moving forward. They're quarantining for The Bachelorette. They're not changing the way that they do things. I am removing myself from this franchise. So
what?
When she said that?
I saw it this morning.
Wow.
So she confirmed that Chris is back. Like, he's in quarantine about to go film.
She didn't say that Chris was back, but she said she didn't say Chris was quarantining. She said that the production is quarantining and that they're moving forward and they haven't implemented the changes that they need to implement. So she is not moving forward right now with the franchise.
Wow.
I mean,
which it's like good for her. I mean, like obviously seeing that, like, what she had to do to protect herself in this, which is absolutely insane. And then hearing her on her podcast with Van Lathan now, And just even hearing like the joy in her voice by after taking 1 week off from the horrific racist hate that she's receiving online, like, and you hear her, it's like, oh my God, this is probably like, I mean, she's just done so much for this franchise already that it's like, you know,
I don't know how she does it. My ass is tired, and I don't even have we don't even get half of the hate she gets, the half of the expectations placed on her.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it, because this past season, just for us, has been fucking exhausting.
Well, we received some people who are messaging about that, asking, you know, sending like, and us always, for both of you as well, sending so much love and so much appreciation for everything that you both do and have been doing for now years in this franchise. And people were saying, thank God for Justine and Natasha, but like, how are they doing? How are they going to continue to do this? I mean, in this space, like, you know, and also then ways that like that the listeners and also that we can support both of you moving forward in this, because it's just like just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The easiest way to support us, obviously, is through our Patreon, patreon.com/2 Black Girls 1 Rose. We keep creating on and off season, so we love all things that are not The Bachelor, and we always dip our toes into the Bachelor world. So we're gonna be around. We're gonna keep going.
You shall see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go, you guys, because my child's freaking the fuck out, as you may have been hearing in the background. Justine and Natasha, so great talking to you for the past hour. It's been fantastic. So much fun. Hope we can all rejoin in the future in person, like we were saying. And thank you so much, as usual.
In person. All right. Bye, Becca. So Becca, I mean, the woman has been having to juggle all the babies in the finals and all this.
My God, school and all this in the house.
I do not know how. This is her finals week, so officially next week we can record in person again together, and like she can have a moment away. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it. Okay, so we've been talking Bachelor and obviously ways that we can continue to support the two of you. And you, like, Broads, just side note, my favorite podcast, Bachelor podcast, which I always have to wait to listen to until we're done with the season so I don't snake ideas from both of you, but highly recommend if you have not listened to 2 Black Girls 1 Rose. I always binge all of the Patreon episodes after the season is done. But can we talk some Real Housewives?
Absolutely.
Do it.
Okay. All right. So did you
Where do we start?
Okay. Did you watch Potomac?
Oh, obsessively.
Yes.
It's the best.
It's the best city.
It's the best city.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Justine got me onto it. I was late to it, but I'm on it now. It's awesome.
It's the best one.
I could not. I know it's like it's not as well known, and I watched in the first season. I was like, this is so good, but this last season, it rivals any season to me. Broads, if you haven't watched, like, this is now a fun thing to binge now that Bachelor is wrapping up. Binge Potomac. Make sure the numbers are good so they will keep giving us Potomac.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
I mean, what were y'all's thoughts on, like, the Michael situation?
Oh
God. Ugh, that's where we're starting.
Michael is the worst. Michael is the worst.
They must have an agreement. I don't understand Ashley and this marriage. There has to be.
I think she loves him. I think they are in love.
What is there to love?
I think the way that, and their sex life is so dynamic, and I'm here for every kind of life, marriage, all this.
Sure.
So they have a lot of third parties coming in, and he's giving her mom $4,000 a month or something crazy, and she walking around in them Party City wigs. What is going on here? What is going on?
I don't know. That's what made me think it's an agreement. The mamas is like, what's going on with the mama? And then Michael just kind of run the streets and Ashley just has to sit on the reunion and defend him up and down. Alone. But she's pregnant again. Yeah. So she's getting her babies out of this. It's like, what? What are we? What is this?
The level of what, regardless of if it's an agreement or if she is deeply in love, the woman stands by Michael. Like, I mean, he has done everything at this point on this show now. He has been caught doing absolutely everything. I don't know how she remains calm. When she saw the photos that were getting passed around, and it was just like, oh my God, how in the world is she chill right now? And
she does this though. He does this. I remember she also said a story about how he slept in the baby's room or something because he came home all drunk and crazy one night.
Oh yeah.
He came home from the strip club and she was like breastfeeding and was like, get out of my house. And he was like, this is not your house.
Oh my God. And can you imagine him stumbling in drunk of all people? You would just be like, go elsewhere, sir.
Gross.
I started to, so I was never a Candace fan. But I was starting to I was going in and out in this season. I was like, yeah.
I was too.
Really?
Yeah.
I was too. Yeah. I mean, I'm late to Potomac, so I don't know the full layers of Candace. I never went back and watched all of it, but I just know we're supposed to hate Candace and whatever. But the way Monique dragged her, and I mean, I couldn't not feel bad for the girl.
Yeah.
No, I felt bad for her. I felt like it was, when I was watching the show, I felt like it was such a situation where, and maybe I'll get heat for this, I was like, I see both sides of this situation, because everything that Candace has always been saying about Monique, and they kept replaying the scenario, and it was like, I kind of see both things happening, and everyone's standing firm that it was like, yes, but I also, I don't know. I was feeling, but I also always liked Monique. So it was like, you know, and I do have such a soft spot for T'Challa. I just love that bird.
T'Challa. Oh God.
I love that bird so much.
When she showed up to Karen's house with a bird on a leash, this is going to be fantastic.
It's like the aesthetic that we've been wanting is like she's showing up with a bird. Like it was incredible. Loved Karen this season. I loved Karen.
I love Karen.
Loved Karen this season. Oh my God. So much.
I do love Karen.
Karen, I feel like the Real Housewives of Potomac are the only women in the franchise who could have like a Bachelor in Paradise style get together with like the Real Housewives of New York, and it would be like, it would be on the same level of like drama, entertainment, level of being able to like, I feel like everyone is so fucking quick.
Yeah.
Like when they're arguing, I'm just like, how is everyone from the New York Housewives and the Potomac Housewives able to come up with these comebacks so quickly?
New York, those ladies are sharp.
And then I feel like Potomac's the same way.
It's like they're all carrying the season. They're all coming. They're all bringing it. Every one of them.
It's so true. There wasn't like anyone. I feel like there wasn't anyone who was like, oh, it's the
like someone's a dud. Like there's always like one dud.
No, there was no like Teddy Mellencamp.
Right. Well, maybe Wendy. I thought Wendy was like kind of boring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. I really loved her husband. I feel like there's a lot of drama back there.
I think she has a mess, but she wasn't fully bringing it. But I think there's just so much There's the other girls are doing so much.
Yeah, there was.
We couldn't really see Wendy shine.
It's a lot. Did you all watch The Real Housewives of Orange County this season?
No.
I don't. I have not watched that in years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on it.
I watch it just because of being like growing up in Orange County. That it's just like I'm like,
You gotta keep tabs.
there's my restaurant. Know that person. Know that person, and they're just disastrous. It was. I was curious because the season was so boring. It was
really?
brutal. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because they lost.
Who is on? Is anyone left? Yeah. Vicky, Tamra, any of those ladies?
Vicky's gone as of this season. Tamra's gone
shit.
as of this season.
Tamra's gone?
Tamra's gone. Shannon's the only one who's like one of the more original ones.
Okay.
So it's like and Vicky. I mean, Vicky was the entertainment. Vicky and Tamra were the entertainment of the show.
Yeah.
Constantly nude, screaming. They're gone. And it's just like, it was just such a snooze fest. I was like, this is so, I watched just to kind of finish it up because I'm always curious about the reunion. I love the reunion.
Yeah.
Always.
I will say too, the season premiere of Salt Lake City, my boyfriend was here watching it with me, and they were showing every season 1 premiere of every city, and season 1 OC, like episode 7 or whatever was on, and it was Joe driving away in that Mercedes, and I was like, babe, this was TV. This was TV, babe.
This was TV.
When she pulled out that driveway with that car, and it said Smiley on the back. Oh my God. She couldn't stand his kids.
Hated her so much.
Oh my God. It was so good.
The wicked stepmother. It was so
Literally.
Oh my God. No, I remember watching that first episode and just being like turning the episode turned off, and I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you, God, so much. I don't know what I just watched, but it's incredible.
This is glorious.
This is incredible. I mean, it is the OG, and there was Vicky, the final, last season, last season's reunion. She was it was her final season, and she was screaming at Andy Cohen, screaming at him, screaming at Andy Cohen that she is the OG of the OC, and she is the only reason that this franchise exists. Screaming at him. It was unbelievable television. It's just I pictured every housewife popping out and being from all the different franchises being like, are you joking? I mean, she's a powerful character, but being like, I am she was yelling, I am this franchise, screaming it. Fantastic.
I am this franchise.
Just absolutely incredible. It was such good television. I watched it like 3 times. Yeah.
Oh my God, I need to go watch that clip.
You gotta watch the clip. Like Vicky at the most recent reunion. I mean, absolutely unbelievable.
Wow.
It was,
and that's how she goes out. Wow.
And that's how she goes out. And honestly, that was the only way that she could go out.
Yeah, she could go out. Yes.
They had to like be dragging her out with security, just like at her screaming that she owns the franchise and she's probably going to sue or something like that. And it was just, this is the only way. I mean, she was screaming God knows what. I don't even know. She was walking out, like throwing shit that she was just the queen. Oh my God. It was so good. It was so good. But
golden days of Bravo.
I know. I miss it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Potomac. Dallas is happening. I'm watching that now.
I've never seen Dallas. I know nothing.
Yeah.
What's going on in Dallas? What's like the synopsis? I know nothing about Dallas.
So right now Dallas is it's tough because it's like season 5, so there's kind of like a lot of random I think it's 4 or 5. So there's a lot of like random things happening amongst the characters, like fights between different women. But you know, Dallas is one of those ones where it's like I watch it as a filler because I need some sort of housewife material, but I don't feel invested with anyone. Okay. You know, and the last season, during the season, the airing of the season and the reunion, the main a woman who was kind of the one who you would, if anyone was like, carrying the show a little bit, it was, she was one of the main ones. And she got kicked off the franchise because she on camera was being so racist towards the newest member, who is a Mexican woman. And she was being like, I mean, it was wild on camera, on camera.
Yeah.
And then Andy confronted her at the reunion.
Yeah.
And she was like, it was just a million excuses, even when she had time to like,
figure something out,
do some work, process a little bit, get, God, for the love of God, even just get a PR statement up in here. Like, it was hard to watch. And I was like, a little bit after that, I was like, I don't know, this is so brutal. Like but then they kicked her off. So,
wow.
she's not there anymore. But that was kind of a little bit of what happened with the Orange County housewife reunion this season. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see the very tail end. Yeah. Or Shannon was it Shannon who was like, I'm black?
That was why am I blanking? Oh my God, why am I blanking? Kelly Dodd.
Slightly tan, looks Sicilian at best.
Yeah, Kelly Dodd.
I'm black.
Yes, and she's yelling and she was screaming about Trump, and because she's dating a Fox News correspondent, like some well-known Fox News guy.
Yeah.
And so they were like getting into it, and I would not be surprised if Kelly Dodd was fired. I'll say that much after the display at that reunion, and also even Shannon.
Wow,
Shannon was pulling some bullshit too, and it's just like, okay, Shannon, like it was wild.
Damn,
these housewives.
These ladies are nuts.
Honestly, the west side of the country, those franchises are starting to just like lose it a little bit. It's like
the West Coast.
You got to keep the East Coast franchise going. You got to keep New York, New Jersey, Potomac, Atlanta. Like those are the ones that need to continue, because
please,
all the other on this other side is just a disaster.
Yeah, I don't even watch the West Coast. I just realized I watched a little bit of Salt Lake City, but OC, Beverly Hills, Dallas, I've stopped watching those.
No, they're all going down the drain. It's time for the East Coast to just continue.
Let it ride.
Anywho, ladies, it was so nice to have you both on. It always is so nice to talk to you both.
Jess, actually, I do have a quick question for you.
Yes,
really
please.
Fast drag race question. Who was your favorite Snatch game? Who was your least favorite Snatch game?
Okay, well, let me tell you something, and I am raging about one thing, because now, don't get me wrong, I love Gottmik, and I thought Gottmik was fantastic. Simone was robbed.
Simone was robbed.
Simone was robbed.
Just the idea of Harriet Tubman is hysterical.
Everything.
I forgot the Harriet Tubman.
The idea, the delivery, the fashion, the statement,
yes,
like everything was so good. I was like, there's no way that Simone's not winning this challenge. So when she didn't even get in the top, she was safe. I'm like, no,
she was safe.
No. I was very angry. I was like, I normally am pretty. I normally feel like I am in agreement with the judges, but that one I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And my least favorite for Snatch Game was, Utica's was so brutal.
Go look best. Bob Ross? That was Utica's? Bob Ross? Oh, please.
The scariest Bob Ross I've ever seen in my life.
Horrible. Horror version. Horrible.
Demonic Bob Ross with the squirrels and like the paint dripping out of the mouth. And it was just like, and you know what's so weird too is Utica's so like soft spoken and such like a little bit like fairy persona.
Yes.
I'm like, Utica's gonna kill Bob Ross. Like it's gonna be so good. And then Utica made it a horror movie.
Horrible.
Like I don't understand.
Damn.
What did you all feel about what was the top and bottom?
Top was Simone.
So I don't really watch. I just watched this weekend with Justine.
And Snatch Game's always, but that's the best episode.
Yeah,
Because I fell into Snatch Game.
Yeah.
But I agree. Simone, I did love the Paris Hilton. Was that's Gottmik?
Yeah. Who won?
I
Who
love
won?
the Paris Hilton. Who won? Okay. But I didn't like her like runway gothic.
I liked
thing,
Gottmik's
so-
runway. I liked it. I thought it was
I
good.
liked the runway, but the safety pin, I couldn't believe that they weren't commenting that it was just falling the whole time.
Yeah,
it was
it
making
was
me kind of
flopping.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, it was instead of being up, it was just down the whole time. So it was kind of distracting to me.
Yeah,
But I thought it was cool. I think Gottmik's fashion is always like pretty unreal. But yeah, Gottmik was was incredible too.
Yeah. Who were your favorites, Justine?
Favorite was Simone. Least favorite, I will have to say, I really did not like Candy Muse's Patrick Starr. That was not Patrick Starr.
It was Candy Muse.
Patrick Star.
It's Candy Muse.
Oh. I thought that one was funny.
It was like it was so funny, and Candy
Yes.
Muse is so funny, but it was not
Yes.
an impression of Patrick Starr. It was
Not
just
at all.
Candy Muse.
Yes. Oh wow.
Andy, who is hysterical, who I hope gets like a whole Fenty contract after this is done.
Yes,
Feel
yes.
like Candy's very savage. Candy's very Fenty makeup. Like Candy Muse is very much embodiment of that whole brand. So I hope she gets like great things after she leaves. But that
Yeah.
was so whack. And then Tabitha Brown was also really bad, and I worship the ground.
Oh yeah, you know what?
That was bad.
And that was bad.
That
was
one
bad.
was disappointing too, because Olivia Lux killed the last challenge that
Yep.
was improv. So I thought Olivia, and then when Olivia said that she was going to do Tabitha Brown, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be so good. Like,
so easy. Yeah.
Yeah,
like so
yeah.
like that. Old like
and Olivia's kind of like Tabitha Brownish anyways. Like
Yes,
has like the big
yeah.
smile all the time. Is like no, it was kind of the same thing like the Utica. Like they chose people
Yes.
who are kind of in line with their personas and then just didn't do it. And it was just like, no.
Terrible.
I liked Rose. I thought the Mary Queen of
Yeah.
Scots was a good call, even though
It
I
was
couldn't
good.
understand like 90% of what she was saying, but I thought it was still really funny.
yeah, it was good.
Yes. The accent was funny.
Yeah, but I think I mean I've been Simone and Gottmik have been my two favorites from day one. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah, I feel like Simone has like House of Avalon money. Gottmik has YouTube money.
yes.
It's gonna be like a battle for them.
Yeah,
sure.
I think
Yeah.
I would imagine that they're going to be the top two.
Same. Yeah, I think so.
And both of their runway looks always are so unbelievable. They're so good. Oh
What
my
a
god!
show.
My
That's a
little one
watch.
was by the pool this weekend, and she had been watching. She's been watching this season with me of Drag Race, and she like wrapped herself in this like weird raft that we have that have stripes on it. She wrapped it all funky, and it was sticking out, and she was just like, I'm a drag queen. This is my runway look. And she was like strutting, and she's like,
Oh my
my
God.
drag queen name is Popsicles. And I was like, that's not bad.
Definitely she needs a first name. That could be good. That could be good.
It was just like, and it was like angling out in different, like kind of like Gottmik-ish style angles. And she's just like, and then she opened it and like revealed herself in like her little bathing suit. Yeah, did a reveal and was wearing these little like heels. And I was like, it's kind of too good. I'll be real with you. It's kind of too good.
Oh, that's so cute.
Well, I love you
Well.
both very, very much. And I wish,
Thank you for having us.
oh my goodness, it's always just like my most favorite. And
Fun.
we have to have another chat maybe sometime while, when we find out who the Bachelorette is, more Bachelor tea, all of
We'll
that
dissect.
business, after this finale ends. But broads, like we said before, best way to support Patreon. You will not regret it. Like I said, my personal favorite Bachelor and Bachelorette podcast. And any social, minus at 2 Black Girls 1 Rose.
Yeah. That's it. That's us.
Number 2 Black girls, number 1 Rose, pretty much everywhere.
Perfect. Broads, all that info will be in the episode notes, and we will chat soon.
Yeah. Sounds
Yep.
good. Bye, Broads.